Hi everyone, welcome to the second video from this wizard's laboratory or astrology room, I'm not really sure what, from Rooms of Wonder. It's been really fun doing this so far. Obviously I've only done the one video, but it just seems a little bit right for the season, for Halloween, that sort of thing, so it's great fun. Now today I'm going to focus on the sphere. I may do other bits too, but I feel like this is the main part of the room and it needs some attention. So let's have a look. Now I have been seeing quite a few versions of this page appearing on Instagram and it makes it a little bit, I try not to look at them because I can start with the Mulberry, I can go all the way around the edge. I try not to look too much at other people's versions because you end up pinching their ideas, but this is supposed to sort of match in with the border a little bit, but it's going to be paler than the border, a slightly different shade of colour. Don't worry too much if you go over the line or the stars. I haven't quite decided what to do. I want those to be these lines to look silvery or black. I haven't quite decided, and either way, if I colour them too much with my pencil, I'm going over the stars, I can do them in pen. The stars are going to definitely be done in pen, which is why I've just coloured over it. So much easier. What I'm trying to do is to get a darker colour on the edge and then just fade it a bit towards the centre. It'll take some work to get a smooth look, so not too worried if it's a bit raggedy at the minute. And this is just my first colour. Now what Johanna has done is she's put some dots around the bottom as if to indicate that it's got to be darker down at the bottom here, which does make sense because the bottom of things tend to be in the shade and the tops will catch the light. But I am going to try and make it look spherical, and to do that my technique is to make it darker all the way around the edge and make this bit here the lightest, and that fools or tricks our eye. Sorry, I'm just making sure you can still see. This tricks our eye into thinking that that lighter part is closer to us and will give the illusion of a sphere, I hope. Colouring is all about tricking the eye. So obviously it's always going to be a 2D thing, image, but if we can colour it in a particular way, we can get it looking a bit more like it's 3D, and it can be quite fun. You can also use shadows to do that as well. It's quite complex to get amazing effects, which I have seen, but it takes lots and lots of practice and lots of work. But I do it in a sort of simple way and hope that that's a bit more accessible to all levels, really. And also I don't want to be spending 10 years colouring one sphere. It would look fantastic by the time. I would probably wear the paper out if I kept colouring it for 10 years. But I think you know what I mean. I don't want to spend too long on each item. There's so many lovely things in the book. I get myself so excited about every image. I just want to colour them all at once, and obviously I can't. And there is this time, but it does mean that I don't want to linger for ages and ages on one picture, and some people do that and you'll find their videos, and if you want to do that then absolutely go for it, but it's just not my way. So going round and round. Now you can see I've got a rough border, it's not that neat. What I'm going to do now with the same Mulberry is just really define that edge, that dark edge. Now it can help to sharpen your pencil, and you can get more colour down, and I'm just going to try and fade that out to the edge of where I've coloured. Now we can go over this again and again and again, so it doesn't matter if it's not quite working to start with. But and we're going into the window. I haven't thought about what I'm doing for the window. Now as I say, I've been seeing this picture crop up on Instagram loads, I'm sure you have as well, and trying to work out what to do with that window. There have been so many amazing, I've seen moon, which was my idea. Before I saw it, I thought, oh, I was going to do a moon. So I might still do a moon, I don't know. I'm using the Purple Lake Deep now. I'm actually going to go all the way over what I've done. And then take the colour further in. I love this colour. Beautiful. Now getting to find the exact centre where our shine's going to be, it's going to be slightly tricky. It'll be easy on something this small, but because it's so big, we'll get there. If you just work our way around, taking that colour to the same point and just trying to fade it gently in. Anyway, yes, so in the window I've seen Emily Illustrator's done a very pretty sort of bluey pinky look. I've seen black. I've seen sort of swirly magic in quite a few. So I'm thinking, what can I do? Obviously it's, well, I say obviously it's looking outside. Might not be, might be looking into another room, but then if it was looking into another room, that throws even more complicated ideas into my head, so I think I'll push that one idea aside. Now what you could do if you wanted to draw, if you artistic in that way, if you can draw, if you want to draw a scene, trees, houses, a cloud, sky, you could do that. And what I would do then was draw it all over and then colour the things in black pen, so you can do your background really easily without worrying about avoiding all the bits of window. Oh, that was my elbow. I'm okay. The desk makes a lot of noise and doesn't really hurt. I'm sorry if it made you jump. Right, let's carry on. Yeah, I'm quite full of energy because it's first thing in the morning. I'm always energised and I've got loads to do, so I'm full of adrenaline, but I can't get on with my jobs. I need to get dressed and I'm still in my pyjamas. I need to do some cleaning. I need to do some washing, but the husband is in bed. So I can't shower because I use the ensuite bathroom, it would wake him up. I can't wash the sheets because he's in them. So, if I start, I can't clean that bathroom either because it'll wake him up. He needs to sleep, he's feeling a little bit poorly. So I thought I'd just come and do this, but it means I'm like, whew, adrenaline and energy, wanting to get up and do things. Right, the centre. What's our next? Got two purples. I've got a heather purple and a lavender. I think the lavender's too pinky. I think we'll use the heather purple. In my Castle Gold set, the heather purple is actually the darkest purple. It's actually a really different colour, isn't it? No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Sorry if you started that. I'm going to use the lavender. Oops, it's rolled away though, it doesn't want me to. Hang on, I'm going to just erase the that back a little bit. It won't completely erase because purple is such a strong colour. This some eraser, by the way, I've been gifted, and it's Faber-Castell, and it's a little eraser on a pencil with a brush on the end. I've been also given one which has got two. This one's a bit softer than this one. This one's quite rough. So that's fun. So I'm playing with these erasers, which is fun. So thank you for that gift. That's better. Now I'm just going to go really light all the way through here. Oh, singing. Stop singing. I am a bit annoyed actually. I just realised what song that was. You won't hopefully have noticed what it was from one note. I had this song in my head all week and I've been humming and humming and humming. It's not a nasty song, but you know, after a week you want to get a different earworm, as we call it, and it's still there. And I got it in my head after watching Strictly Come Dancing. I'm sure there's a centre, I think. This is a bit paler down here. So I've got my Mulberry back and I'm going to go back over. This takes a bit of time, but I think it'll be worth it. Anyway, I got the song in my head from Strictly. So I watched Strictly last night and I thought, oh, Strictly Come Dancing, for those not in the UK, it's Dancing with the Stars in other countries. I think mainly, that's what it's called. My favourite programme. Anyway, I think I got it in my head from that. I think there was a waltz or something with that tune. And then I watched it last night, so I thought, oh, I'll get another song in my head. Nope. None of those stuck in my head. It's very weird, isn't it? What makes an earworm? Why do certain songs stick in your head and certain ones not? And is it person specific? Or do we all get the same sorts of songs stuck in our head? Are there certain songs that nobody ever gets stuck in their head? I really don't know. I bet someone's done some music psychologist or something would have done some research on it. It fascinates me. But as a psychologist, as I did a degree in psychology and a master's, I do get interested by things like that, and I feel like, oh, I could do some research. You just do this and that and the other, and come up with a. It's easy to come up with ideas for what things to research, but finding the way to actually practically do it is not so easy. I wanted to do a PhD actually in psychology, and the thing that I wanted to do it in was names. Now, when I was doing my GCSEs and A-levels, our school exams, before you do the big exams you do just before you leave school, they used to publish the results in the newspaper. In the local paper, it would have a list of every child that took their exam and what grades they got. They don't do this anymore, which I think is good, because I think for your mental health, that's bad. But anyway, and I was fascinated by the fact that they had names and grades, and I thought, and I was also fascinated by the fact that does your name impact you? Because sometimes certain names have certain associations in people's heads where they sort of associate, say, a certain name with a certain age of person. Like if someone's called Ethel or Mabel, or some of these older names are coming back, Sid as well, you would sort of think that was more of an old-fashioned older person's name, although as I say they're coming back, which I think is adorable. And if you've got a name like there used to be a programme where there was a character called Wayne, I think it was, who was supposed to be a bit not very clever, shall we say. And I think there are some names that you associate with that. I don't like that at all, but you know, certain names you associate with certain people. Like if there's a famous person called that name, then you might just always just think of them when you hear that name. So I was sort of really fascinated by names, and I decided, you know, I've got this data of names and exam results. Is there a link? So do people with certain names perform well or badly? So I did my own bit of research and I had a look, and I found that people with, I'd separated names into common and uncommon, so I counted how many people had a certain name, and then I'm just choosing, I'm done now with that. I'm choosing the colour for these two, and I counted how many people had a certain name, and so I split them into common and uncommon. So some were only one person of that name, and some were more than one person of that name, and looked at their results. This is Purple Light. Now I did this research. We're going to do the same techniques. I'm going to go heavy around the edge. I'll probably only use this one colour though. So I did this research and I found that people who had a name that no one else in that year had, and remember this was across lots of different schools but within one county. So people who, there was only one person with that name, they either did really, really well or really badly. And I had a look carefully at the names. I came to the conclusion they were either at a private paid for school and had a sort of unusual sort of posh name, I suppose, for want of a better word, or they had a foreign sounding name, which I wondered if it meant that English might not have been their first language and therefore they may have struggled. But I didn't obviously have access to any information on that sort of thing. So it was just a case of guessing, really. So I wanted to take this research further and to find out whether a name actually can impact your life choices, your grade, your job, everything. I was really interested in it. So I approached a university and said, I want to do research in this area. Grenadine light for the little one. And they said no. They said there not enough research has been done on this. You wouldn't be able to write a whole PhD paper on that. You have to write 100,000 words. So no, come and do a PhD in something else. So I did start a PhD with them in something else. I was looking at dyslexia and stress, I think. But it was somebody else's idea for research, not mine. I couldn't get the enthusiasm up for it in the same sort of way as for my idea. And I'm going to just use my eraser to erase these lines a bit. Now I'm going to do this in pencil, but if you've gone over your line you can do it in pen. I'm going to do them silver, so you can use a silver pen. It will probably be easier, and I may even decide to do a silver pen in the end because I might mess it up. So I'm using the cool grey and I'm just going to try and do a silvery effect. Hang on, where's my big brush? Let's give us a good sweep. So I'm going to stop talking about PhDs and concentrate. So I'm going to do a dark bit here and then fade it so much we get white paper there. Okay, so it looks like shine. I hope you can see. I'm going to do the same with this bit. So dark here and dark here, like that, and then we've got a white bit. This is quite a long piece, but I'm still going to do the same. But I'm just going to make it longer until I fade it off. I'm going to go either side of this plant, like that. Now you could think about where the light's going to be, and if these were proper metallic, how they would actually catch the light and how they would shine. I'm just keeping it really simple. I like to keep it simple for myself and therefore for you. Yeah, so I was doing the PhD for about a year, maybe, yeah, and I just wanted to get on with it. You know, it take 4 years and it was costing me £200-300 a month, and I was getting about 2 hours of tutor contact, and I had to buy all my documents that I was using because they weren't in the library, and I just got thoroughly fed up with paying so much money. Right, this little stand I'm also going to do in silver, so I'm going to take the colour to the middle. But you know, the idea of doing a PhD is fun, but you have to be able to, I haven't got the time for it now, children, etc. I had decided I wanted to do a degree in health and nutrition, but again, once I got really into making videos and colouring and stuff, I just decided that this was more rewarding, because I know whenever I try and help someone with nutrition, they're not really interested. They don't really want to, they want a magic wand, they want a quick, easy answer, and it's quite frustrating. Now the stars. I'm trying to decide whether to do the stars on the sphere the same as the stars on the wall. They aren't going to be the same as the stars on the outside, but I think that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave that for now. I think I'm going to do the stars on the wall and the sphere in black, I think. So that's my plan. Now what I'm also going to do just for the end of this video is do all the plants. Do you remember I said in the last video that I was going to do them all the same as these ones on the outside? I'm just going to do that with you now. If I can find the pen. Oh, I've put the pencils. I left them on the side of my desk. Now I'm just looking at what we've got. We've got 3 shades of green, haven't we? But most of these plants are so small we'll be pushed to have 2. Now I'm going to sharpen my darkest green. This is the Oxide of Chrome. I'm going to leave it zoomed out because there's plants all over the page, and I hope that you're going to be able to see it okay. So as I say, they're going to be the same as these. So we're going to make a dark area here and then fade it. I'm going to do that throughout. So I'm still trying to think about what to do with that window, but I've decided what I'm doing with the background. I already had, actually, to be honest, before I started this bit. And I may leave you with the background for homework because it's quite simple and it's going to take ages. So maybe. But actually, I think I've decided that when I finish this, I'll make another video and I won't have time to do the background in between, so that you can do it as your homework if you want, or you can wait till I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this afternoon. I'm going to be on Skype to my parents this afternoon, and my sister and I might do it then. It's quite a good time to sit down just with one pencil. I tell you what it is so you can decide and think, and of course there's always a chance I might change my mind, but I don't think I will. I'm going to do it pink, but the palest pink I have. Now in the 72 set, the rose pink is the palest, but I do have an opera pink in one of my sets of Castle Art, so I'm wondering whether to use that, but it means that anyone who's following along with their 72 won't be able to follow, so maybe I won't do that. It's a bit unfair. So I'll use my rose pink, and it's going to be very light. I want it to be noticeable but light, if that makes sense. So if you want to get on with that, you know, that's up to you. I want it to, you see, I want there to be colour. We're going for this pink and purpley theme because it's magical, I think. Also a bit Halloween-y. I tell you an idea I had for the window, which I can't do because I don't have a template actually. I was going to put like a moon in the middle. I've seen a moon on it sort of here. I was going to put a moon right in the middle, and that's easy. You just get something round. That's not round actually, and draw around it. Like this kind of fixative, it's still too big. Anyway, you find something, or usually sticky tape is quite useful for that. So you get something round and draw around it, and then colour your moon. I'd probably do it. I might even do it with a silver pen. And then, but I thought, have a little bat or a couple of bats flying across the moon to make it a bit more Halloween-y. I thought that'd be good fun. But how do you draw a bat? I'm wondering whether it's like that. No, I just tried one on my scrap paper. I'm glad I didn't show you. I tried to draw it like a bird. You know when you draw a bird like a V? I tried to draw it like that, but with a sort of split in the wing. And it ended up just looking like a scribble. So no, that's why I won't be doing that. But by all means pinch the idea and do it, because I'd love to see if it works. It reminds me of Scooby-Doo as well. They have bats like that, don't they? Or maybe that's the old one. Maybe they don't. There's a new one, I think. They sort of remade it, and the characters all look different. They've turned the women into stronger characters and the man into a weaker character, and I think that's a bit sad. Can't they all be strong characters? Why do we have to have a weak character at all? You know, because I realise that we want to not make women weak all the time, but men need bigging up as well at times, particularly younger men. So, yeah. And I think, anyway, it's just a cartoon. I don't get too head up about it. And I do find it quite funny because in our household I feel like I'm the strongest person, keeps everyone going, you know, and I think that's probably the case in a lot of households. So the fact that women can be portrayed as the weaker is just, frankly, silly and wrong. This jar has got leaves on. Not going to do that. I'm going to do the ones in this jar, just because it might be printed on the jar and I might decide to make those all match. So yeah, leave it. I think for one of these, oh, we've got one up here. For one of these plants, I'm going to use a slightly lighter colour and then go on to my lightest. So for this one, I'm going to use the chrome green a little bit. But for all the others, I'm not. I'm just going to go straight to the cadmium green. Just because this has got a bigger area, it can take another colour. This one looks darker. Oh well. What am I saying? I don't know. I don't know what to do next in my next video, but I shall have a think. Right, cadmium green needs sharpening. Basically, we finished them all off. There's a little one there, I'll just do it in this green. Now with my border leaves, I actually went over them all over again off camera. I think I did tell you I was going to do that because they needed another layer. With these smaller ones, they probably won't need another layer. Now with the wall, we have candlelight here. I have decided that I'm going to ignore the candlelight. Obviously I'm going to colour in the flame, but where it's got these lines coming out, I think I'm going to just draw that in after with a pen or something over the top of Johanna's lines, or leave her dark lines there. One or the other. I'm not going to try and fade the background to make it look like the candle is shining on the wall. I think that's a bit too complex, particularly on a page with this many little fiddly bits going on. We don't need to add to the fiddly bits. So as I say, I'm just going to ignore it. I just think it's easier. Now I'm trying to also decide, is it going to be light or dark outside the window? Now if we make it black outside the window, it's going to really draw the eye. I've got no other black going on in here. As I say, I might do the stars black, just to make them a bit different. I don't normally do black stars. But I think doing black is going to be quite... It could draw the eye, definitely, and I don't know if I want to draw the eye in that sort of way. So, but if you want it to be night, I'm thinking maybe a dark blue might work. Excuse me, I've got a sore throat. I might have to go and get another coffee. The children are full of colds, and the husband actually. I can hear water running now, so maybe he's up and about. We'll see. Sometimes the boiler just makes random noises, and I think the heating might be on this morning. It came on last night actually, and the husband turned it up. It was very cold in the kitchen, so he turned. The thing is, it's always colder on our ground floor in our kitchen than it is in the rest of the house. So I think we just need to turn the radiators down higher up in the house to try and even the heat out a bit. It doesn't always quite work like that though. Sometimes that just makes it freezing cold everywhere and unpleasant. It's definitely having a shower. Lots of water running. I don't know if you can hear that, probably not. It's interesting how the new boiler that we had put in as part of the kitchen refit seems louder than the old one. Would have thought being a new model it'd be a bit quieter. It's not. I wonder how many of you are colouring along and watching. You might be doing your own thing though, which is absolutely fine. It's fair enough. So her husband is just coming downstairs, so I may have to suddenly abruptly stop the video if he pops his head in to the room. Hopefully he'll notice that I'm with the door shut, so I'm recording. But I am going to finish in a minute when I finish these leaves. So, and then I'll have a chat to him, see what's going on. My son's just telling him I'm recording, I can hear. So, he'll know to be a bit quiet, but as I say, I shall go and chat to him in a minute. And probably go and get on with some chores and not come back for a while. There's always lots to do on a weekend. Right, I think I'm going to leave that there for today and leave you. But I shall be back with another video. As I say, I don't know how long it'll be until the next one. It depends when I get time to record. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and then you'll get a notification when the next one comes out. And thank you for watching. Happy colouring.